Ivan, everything you ever wanted to know about wheels,
but we're afraid to ask. I'm Ivan.
I'm Nick.
And this is the DIY Detail Podcast. Today we're going to dive into coating, maintaining, cleaning, everything you needed to know about wheels to make your life experience with wheels better.
At what point in the detail do you clean wheels? Can wheels be polished? What do I do for ceramic coating prep? And why would I want to ceramic coat them? Those questions and more will be answered.
So we're going to start with the premise that you just bought a new set of wheels. We'll get into the maintenance and the cleaning of the wheels afterwards because it's just what it is.
Yep.
You've got a brand new set of wheels. You need to ceramic coat them. And I say need, and I really mean it. If you're not going to ceramic coat any part of your car because you prefer an old school wax or something like that, fine. Ceramic coat your wheels, you'll thank me later. It makes cleaning your wheels so much easier and faster and safer, and there's a lot of advantages to ceramic coating wheels.
You know what's great about cleaning is when it's fun.
Yeah.
And when things are fun, you do them more often, right?
Exactly.
You can find a workout that you enjoy, you'll be more fit. Like, if you have wheels that are easy to clean, they're more fun to clean, you'll clean them more often. Like,
exactly.
Just trust us. Ceramic coat your wheels, you will, as you said, you'll thank us later.
Yeah. Ceramic coating wheels, you have brand new wheels. What you're gonna do is make sure there's no stickers on them. There's often stickers. Get that off. Maybe a bit of tree sap remover to get the sticker residue off.
Why tree sap remover? That sounds like something for tree sap only.
It's also great on adhesive, tar, sticky things that don't want to come off.
Okay.
We've done that. We use panel prep next. Our panel prep is designed to prep a surface for coating. We do the panel prep, we apply it damp towel first, damp with panel prep, not anything else, and then dry it. Great. Now we apply the ceramic coating. But which ceramic coating do we apply?
I like Hydrolite, C6 Hydrolite, just because the water beading is so pleasant to the eye.
Yeah.
That's what I love about a coating is when I see those water beads, it tells me that it's hydrophobic, it's easy to clean, it self-cleans.
Yeah.
I like C6 Hydrolite.
Yeah, it's our most self-cleaning coating. Now, you're gonna ask, what about the metal coating? The wheels are metal. The wheels have clear coat on them. Unless you've got old school Centerline or Krager SS's or Alcoa's, things like that, those are raw aluminum. And if you have a raw aluminum wheel, you'll know you have it because they're probably dull. And the look is slightly different. But if you have a modern wheel on a OEM, it's 99.99999% that it is a coated wheel of some sort. And by coating, it could be just clear coat, it could be painted and clear coated, or it could have powder coating on it. In the end, they're all forms of plastic. And that's what our coating is dealing with. So unless you have raw metal, you're gonna use our normal ceramic coatings, be it the 3-year, the 5-year, the 8-year, or Hydrolite.
And yes, you can ceramic coat powder coated wheels, right? So if it's like, I just got these wheels, I spent a lot of money on them, and you're curious, reach out. As a detailer, sometimes they'd be like, hey, I'm bringing you these wheels, but I don't know even what they are. And I would just triple check. I'd like call the company and be like, what are these made out of? That was in my earlier days, but I always like to talk to people on the phone. I'm an old school guy. Anyway, just do your research, right?
Yeah, and powder coating, be it matte or gloss or satin, it's all the same. It's just as easy to prep and coat. So now you've coated your wheels, and we chose Hydrolite. We don't have a wheel-specific coating. Couple reasons for that. First of all, a lot of companies will cite that we have a wheel-specific coating to handle the heat. Well, every coating in our line, at least 1200 degrees before it starts degrading the coating. Tires start melting somewhere around 360 to 365 degrees Fahrenheit, well under 1200. If your wheel is at 1200 degrees, you haven't had a tire for a long time. You have other things to deal with other than, is my coating still there? No, your wheel's gone. It's shot at this point. The other thing is, the wheel is in a harsh environment. Yes, it is, but not as harsh as you think. The fender, the rocker panel right behind the wheel is a much harsher environment. It has a tire rotating at many RPM, throwing salt, sand, slush, water, whatever, up onto that rocker panel. The tire is just floating in the mist, or the wheel is just floating in the mist created by the tire, but it's not that harsh of an environment. Yes, there's brake dust. We know. That brake dust is going on the rest of the body as well. So the wheel isn't as harsh an environment as some people will have you mention. Now, what damages a coating on wheels is not heat, it's not the brake dust, it's detailers.
Yes, and that's a really important point, Ivan, because using improper brushes or improper technique, and we're going to get to that, can really scratch up the face of your wheel, as we talked about.
Right.
Wheel faces are clear coated a lot of the time, which is the same. It's a plastic, same as your paint. And so if you're going to use principles that we talk about all the time, foam, rinse, foam, chemical, rinse, chemical, right? Doing something to the paint, rinsing it, doing something again with your chemical, and then touching it with your contact wash medium. That's how we teach paint.
Exactly.
You're going to want to do the same thing on wheels. And so that's why you say detailers or enthusiasts out there are actually damaging their wheels, probably unknowingly.
Yeah, you're not thinking about it. So a lot of detailers, enthusiasts, detailers, you're all the same. You're all friends to us.
Yeah, exactly.
But
there's no, like, we're not calling you out as bad people who make mistakes. Like, I make mistakes all the time. He corrects me. Like, we're always learning.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. And we'll just say detailers because it's easier.
Exactly.
It's a nice word.
Y'all.
And yeah, if you're an enthusiast, you're a detailer too. We see a lot of detailers. They will foam something on the wheel and tire, preferably all clean at 15:1. And then the first thing they do is they go to their wheel bucket, they get out a brush and they start brushing. All that brake dust, all that grit is still in there. You want to rinse the wheel first, cool it down if it's hot.
Okay, if it's hot, you would rinse before chemical?
Yeah, just to cool it down. Because chemical, heat, drying too quickly, not always a good thing.
Does that shock the surface if it's cold
No.
water on a hot day? Okay,
It's like going through a puddle on a hot day. It's not going to shock it even more than that.
Well, you always say detailers overthink everything, and so someone's going to wonder about that, Ivan. So,
Yeah,
okay, all right.
exactly.
So you can cool it down with some water first by rinsing it.
Right.
If it's hot. Otherwise, we're just going to go
Straight to the chemical,
right?
Yeah. And if you have a ceramic coated wheel, guess what? You don't need the all clean. It doesn't figure into the equation anymore because Incredible Suds or Rinseless Wash does just what you need. But let's say it's not coated yet. Now, a bit of all clean on the wheel, bit of all clean on the tire. Maybe just give that tire a little scrub.
All clean, rinse, all clean?
Right. So all clean, 15:1 dilution, maybe in a foamer preferably. Foam helps the all clean work because you remember there's a bathroom cleaner in the 70s. I don't know. I haven't watched TV much since then. But anyways, they talked about the bubbles doing the work, and that's actually what's happening with all clean. Because every time a bubble bursts, it's putting fresh all clean on the surface, and then the next bubble bursts, it's putting another little dose of all clean there. So it's actually scrubbing the surface for you, or agitating is a better word. Then we want to rinse that away. We rinse it. Now the grit that can damage the wheel is gone. Like we do a foaming rinse and then we reapply the chemical. Now we get out our brushes. And there's a lot of brushes on the market that if you wouldn't put them on paint, why are you putting them on your wheels? Your wheels are painted.
That's so true.
Yeah. So we have our green wheel and body brush, wheel and body. It's just as safe on the paint and on the body of your vehicle as it is on the wheels. That is for step one. Get the outside done. Get the wheel or the tire done. I like to use that on tires. Some people like a stiffer brush to get in there. A lot of detailers foam on their tire cleaner of choice, all clean, 15:1. They foam on their tire cleaner of choice, then they take a nice brush and they brush that tire. They see browning coming out. They rinse it away. What do? They put more chemical on because I want to make sure all that browning is gone. That browning is actually good for your tires, and it actually is good for your tire dressing. You don't need to get all the browning off a tire to apply tire dressing. What you're doing is that browning is actually antioxidants that are built into, it's sort of a wax that's built into the tire, into the rubber. It's not a liquid that's floating around inside, it's actually in the rubber. And the rubber from movement, because every time you're going over a bump or just rolling the tire, it's acting like a pump. It's always moving. Now, if you removed all those antioxidants from the surface, they're trying to fill that void because rubber is porous. They're trying to fill that void and replenish those antioxidants. If you're scrubbing it 3, 4, 5 times to okay, there's no more browning in the foam, I'm good. You're actually damaging the tire because you're removing more antioxidants than you should. And also, you will make your tire dressing not last as long because now it's trying to get into the tire, but now your tire is going, no, we need to replace those antioxidants. Let's push that tire dressing right off of there and make everything brown again. Gosh, they're fighting each other.
I can just picture someone at home thinking, I want to clean this tire until all the browning is gone.
Right.
They would think that would just be the best way to do it.
Yeah.
And it's very satisfying to watch it,
It's satisfying to watch, and if we're just thinking about the surface of the tire, yes. But we have to think of the tire as this whole mechanism. It's what's keeping your vehicle on the road. It's what makes your brakes slow your vehicle down. The brakes by themselves do nothing. They need that tire on the road. And what causes cracking in tires, age, but mostly removing all those antioxidants, now the tire has nothing to keep it from cracking. And oxygen or oxidation is the worst part of a tire. And people think, oh, I cover my tires. I see it a lot in RV areas. They put these little white covers on their tires and they look really good. If you see a cracked tire on a vehicle, crank the front wheel maybe, or get under the vehicle if it's safe, and look at the other side. That side has never seen the sun. It'll be just as cracked as the side that sees the sun because the antioxidants are gone. And someone that deep cleans their tire because they want to get all that browning off, they'll get cracking on the outside faster than the inside because the inside still has all its natural antioxidants. It's happy. It's just living a happy life.
So it sounds like the best way to clean your tires is 15-to-1 all clean, one treatment after, so foam it on, rinse it off, foam it on again, give it a good scrub, rinse it off, and then once that tire is completely dry, best advice for longevity.
Yeah.
Put some tire lotion on there and call it a day.
Exactly. You don't need to get all that browning off. Now, if it's nasty browning caused by repeated applications of cheap tire dressing, the ones that come in a spray can and they just foam it on and it cleans and it dresses and it does all that in one, it's leaving gunk on the tire. If you're having gunk you can scrape off with your fingernail, then yeah, you may need to do a couple more cleanings, but after that, don't go too deep. Now back to the wheel.
Back to the wheel.
Back to the wheel.
We're talking about wheel cleaning.
Right. Well, we're talking about wheels in general and wheel cleaning. So we've done the foam, we've done the rinse, we've done the foam, we've brushed. There's still something on there. There's still two things on there. One is brake dust. And brake dust, our iron remover is the best tool for removing that. So we spray some iron remover on, we'll agitate it again with a brush, let it sit, let it go purple. And if your wheels are really, really bad, you just bought a used car, the wheels look like no one's ever cleaned them in the last 5 years, then yes, you might want to add some all clean, and then the iron remover, then brush, and you'll see what looks like blueberry ice cream because you have the white froth with the little blue streaks in the middle of it or the purple streaks.
I'm not satisfied with this, Ivan. I feel like we need to drill down for people because they could be getting overwhelmed. Give me a standard operating procedure to clean my tires, whether they're freshly ceramic coated, which we don't need to do it this way, or deeply neglected, something that no matter what, because I know people are going to want this SOP right into their veins.
Yeah.
What is a surefire way to deep clean my wheels?
Okay.
Regardless of conditions, I just want to know the Ivan way that will for sure deep clean my wheels. Give me a step-by-step.
Worst case scenario, foam, rinse, foam, brush, iron remover, brush, rinse. Water spot remover, agitated with a microfiber towel, because your wheel is clean at this point, and then rinse that off, dry the wheel, you're good to go.
If it's bad and you're not seeing the results pre-water spot remover, you may need to do iron remover again, right?
Right, iron remover may not remove it all in one shot. And if the wheels have been neglected for 5 or 6 years, you may not be able to get it all back. There's damage that's permanent on the wheel, and the only way to get rid of it is to refinish, or we'll talk about another thing at the end, a little bonus there for wheels. But refinishing, unfortunately, is an option, and it's necessary sometimes. Sometimes that brake dust has sat on there so long that it's actually eaten through the clear coat, eaten through the paint. And there are some wheels that no matter what you do, you're not going to get them clean. These wheels were popular from the 2005 to 2020. They look like a polished aluminum or a chrome wheel, I had some on a Jeep, and we'll insert a picture here. And it looks like when it starts this degradation, it looks like there's a little crack in the surface of the wheel almost. And then it grows, and they make really nice patterns. But it's not a pattern you want on your wheel.
Right.
But the oxidation just keeps making its way underneath the clear coat. The clear coat is still there. That oxidation is making its way under the clear coat. And by making its way under the clear coat, now it's not something you can clean away, and you can't even polish it away. The wheel actually needs to be machined, taking a couple thousandths off of it to get past the oxidation and then refinished. And again, if your wheel is like one of these, sorry, but that's just the way it is.
Yeah, I don't want that to happen to me.
It's not a detailing issue at that point.
No. One question I think folks might have is, do I do all clean first or iron remover first when cleaning my wheel?
That's a difficult question to ask because every wheel is different. Now, you want a standard operating procedure, I'll say all clean first. But there are some wheels that there's just so much brake dust. They're supposed to be a silver wheel and they look golden in color. Go for the iron remover first. Then you're foaming the all clean on after to give the iron remover more time to dwell. And if you have your foam cannon out and you're cleaning the car, throw some of that all clean or Incredible Suds on that tire and wheel as well.
When they look golden in the past, if it's not a super high-end car, I'll tell you what I've done, and then Ivan will tell you not to do it, and you can tell me why. But after a couple repeated dousings and agitations with iron remover, I'll grab a magic eraser, and it will remove the gold. I mean, if it's like a budget level car, and it's like,
yeah,
it was kind of a piece of crap anyway, and like it's got a hubcap on there. You know, I'm just saying it's worked. All right, but why shouldn't I do that?
Well, it's abrasion. And that abrasion is what can damage the wheel.
Right.
So any time you're using abrasion, you're doing damage. You're removing clear coat.
Yep.
Now, some people have asked us about polishing wheels. Yes, you can polish wheels, unless they're a matte finish. If they're a matte finish, you don't want to polish it unless you want a shiny wheel. But polishing wheels can be done. And there's no really dedicated tool for that. Every wheel is different, has different angles, nooks, crannies, circles, whatever. Find a tool that works. Could be just a microfiber towel with a bit of gold standard on it, and you go over the surface. There's cones that go on drills. There's all sorts of little things that wheels can be polished with.
What about like the order in which you clean a car, right? We always say clean your wheels first. Folks may do that because they heard someone say it, but what's the why behind that?
The why is very simple. When you're cleaning a wheel, if you have one, you're using a pressure washer. You're spraying, hopefully you're spraying the fender liner as well. You're spraying the barrels of the wheels. You're getting in there, and there's all sorts of angles. So when you're spraying, sometimes you get stuff flying back on you. You get a little damp when you're cleaning wheels. That's natural. If you've already cleaned the body of the vehicle, now you're putting that dirt on there. If you clean the wheels first, then if you get a little moisture going in the wheel, a little bit of soap, not an issue. You're going to rinse them off again. Now, for your final rinse, one thing we didn't add to the standard operating procedure, if your wheels are already coated, if you don't intend on coating your wheels, please get some quick beads. You may never want a ceramic coating or quick beads or anything like that on the body of your car. You might like a wax.
You're a wax person. We don't hold that against you.
No.
We're working on a wax, by the way.
Yeah,
so
we are.
We'll meet you halfway.
But on your wheels, quick beads is phenomenal. You couple little sprays, spray with your garden hose or your pressure washer, your wheels will bead. They'll be easier to clean the next time. If you have a ceramic coating on your wheel, it's going to make maintaining and the longevity of your ceramic coating even better. And if you don't have a ceramic coating on your wheel, please at least do quick beads. You'll thank us once again. It's just a phenomenal product on wheels. The quick beads is not going to interfere with your tire dressing. Don't worry about it. I know you all like overthinking. It's part of life.
Detailers like to overthink things.
Yeah, it's a common trait.
Yeah, I think the browning thing is something that's really going to resonate with folks out there.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I don't need to clean. What about like using odorless mineral spirits as a final panel prep before a tire lotion on your tire?
A great way of damaging your tire. It's
Yeah.
a solvent. If you have...
I did that once for a video, and I said this is the best way to prep your tire for a tire dressing. So Obviously, I was
it's
full
gonna,
of baloney.
well, no, it's going to make the tires look fantastic.
Right.
And yes, it works. But mineral spirits, let's say you did a burnout and you have rubber residue at the back of your car right behind the tires.
Right.
Mineral spirits is great at taking that off too. So mineral spirits is actually damaging the rubber.
Okay.
But
Good to know.
if you're just taking it to a car show and it's a trailer queen, then yeah, you might want to do that. Still, I don't recommend it.
What have we not mentioned, Ivan? I think we talked about don't use a metal ceramic coating on most
Yeah.
wheels. We've talked about the order in which to clean wheels, whether they can be polished, how to prep and ceramic coat a wheel.
Yeah.
I think what's left is just to ask folks out there, what questions do you still have? Like, put
Well,
them in
I
the-
mentioned a little bonus.
Oh, I want to hear it.
Yeah. Now, this
What questions do you still have? Put them in the
Yeah,
comments and then go ahead.
definitely the questions. We love answering your questions. But there's one solution for that wheel that just can't be cleaned
Okay.
that has been popular for 20 years.
Wheel acid?
People are still doing it. Not wheel acid. That's dangerous. It's called Plasti Dip.
Oh.
Yeah, Plasti Dip, great company out of Florida. They have all sorts, like you can make your wheels any color you want. They have it in aerosol cans. They sell little kits. I think it's 4 cans. And people go, I don't need 4 cans. 2 or 3 coats, the wheel is covered. You're gonna hate the day you put Plasti Dip on if that's all you put on. Literally, you should be putting at least 1 can per wheel. It should be a minimum of 7 coats. The reason for that, if Plasti Dip is too thin, it's not gonna last, first of all. Secondly, it's gonna be almost impossible to peel. When you have the right amount of Plasti Dip, and people that nag Plasti Dip, it's garbage, it's this, it's that, they just didn't apply it correctly. Plasti Dip applied correctly, you can peel a wheel in one piece if you do it slowly enough and your prep was correct and all that. So yes, it still has its place. If you have an old school car with silver wheels and you want black wheels, you can't afford black wheels, get some Plasti Dip. It's going to do the job. If you have, like we mentioned, the Jeep wheel that we showed, and I had a Mustang that had the same issue, if you have that type of wheel, it's way past warranty, they're not going to warranty those wheels, and you can't afford a new set of wheels, then Plasti Dip is your option. Now,
So this is just a great way to
save the day.
Yeah.
And for customers, you can suggest that as well. Again, you're going to prep with panel prep, just like we do a coating, and apply the Plasti Dip. And I'm from Quebec. We have winter and summer tires. If you're in an area or you prefer driving on winter tires, and trust me, they do make a good difference in the winter in terms of drivability and safety. But a lot of people that don't have mandated changes from summer to winter tires like we do in Quebec, they take their rims in, they have tires put on, they have their winter, their same rims all year round, or wheels. Invest in a set of Steelies, or you can buy some low-cost alloys for the winter wheels and tires, and that way your nice summer tires and wheels will stay cleaner longer. They're not going through the salt, and they're not going through the sand and all the stuff they put on the road, and it ends up costing you less, because now you're not going to the tire shop having them put the tire on, tire off, tire on, tire off to the same wheel. Once it's mounted, it's there. And the cost of good winter tires is actually 0 in the end, because your summer tires aren't wearing as much. So your summer tires will last twice as long if you're doing the same mileage every day, and your winter tires will take over that section. So instead of replacing your summer tires every 2 years, you'll be replacing them every 4 years. And often winter tires are less expensive than summer tires.
All right. That's news you can use, Ivan.
Yeah.
I mean, those Blizzaks I bought for my Subaru weren't cheap.
No, but they're worth it.
They're worth, and you're talking about they're less expensive because they're going to last me X amount of winters.
Right. Like your summer tires might last you 4 winters. Your winter tires, or summers, I should say, your winter tires might last you 4 to 6.
And summering and wintering sounds like some fancy thing that rich people do. Like I summer in Nantucket. No, it's just this is a necessity.
Yes.
In cold weather, snowy areas. So if you're on the fence about it, I got into an accident once because I was too cheap to get the winter tires, and after that, it's like, what's the price of my life? Like, what's it worth? It's like it's priceless, right? So just get the winter tires. I would highly suggest that.
Yeah.
If you're ever on the fence about it, the $1,200 or whatever it costs, like, it's just worth it, man. It's just worth it for safety. So.
Exactly. With that, we mentioned it before. We'll mention it again. If you have any questions, there's a comment section down there. Put your questions there. We're happy to answer. And if you haven't subscribed to our podcast, What are you waiting for?
The DIY Detail podcast, we're more than 100 episodes deep, and actually there's a really good podcast episode we think you'll like right here.